Hi there everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel. This is the first time I've probably uploaded in about 6 years, but I want to make this channel more of an athletics based channel, which it was before, but now I want to talk about the statistics of athletics, the problems within the athletics community and world, up and coming races, which obviously we can't do until races are properly back on, and just make it an overall information based channel hopefully. But yes, today obviously I want to talk about the problem that we've heard over the past couple of days with the athlete Salwa Eid Naser. I have got a couple of laptops open with some information because we're going to be having a look at the evidence and obviously whether we think that she's a drugs cheat or not. Before we start, my honest opinion is I do think that she's probably would have failed the drugs test if she hadn't have missed them. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. So, first of all, I want to go through the statement I first read when I first heard about this, and it was a statement on Twitter by the Athletics Integrity Unit. And I'll put that up here for everyone to read, but I'm just going to point out a few points that I saw and let's talk about them. So it says that she missed 3 drugs tests before the World Championships in Doha in 2019, which straight away for me sparks red flags, because how can someone be able to compete after missing 3 drugs tests? Okay, she hasn't failed them, but she's missed them, which in my opinion is just as good as, because you can't miss 3 drugs tests. You just can't. It's impossible. Okay, you miss one, that's fine, but we'll get onto that later. But missing 3 drugs tests is absolutely impossible. If there's not something dodgy going on, you just don't want to get tested. So for her to still be allowed to compete, I don't think that's good. I think that's a disgrace that she's still allowed to compete. And now we found out that in January she didn't fail, she's missed another one. So that's 4 missed drugs tests in a space of a year. In January 2020, she missed again, but now she has finally been suspended. And obviously, on following an investigation, that's going to either lead to, if she has a drugs test now and she comes out clean, she'll be reinstated, I think. And if the investigation comes back and she was found to have taken drugs, she will be banned, and hopefully she'll be banned for life, because we don't want cheats in our sport. So my personal opinion is that she shouldn't have been allowed to compete. I feel like she should be stripped, and Charlotte Miller-Weibo should be given the gold medal. Some people might think that's a bit extreme, but if you agree with me, tell me down in the comments or tell me your opinion. But moving on, I just want to let you know what it means to miss 3 drugs tests. I'm not an expert on it, but I think I know the basics, just to fill you in. So 3 missed drugs tests. What you have to do, being a top athlete, with the anti-doping agency and also the governing body of your country's doping agency, you have to give them in a period of 3 months per year. So there's a quarter of 3 months, and you tell them whereabouts you are in them 3 months. You give and then you have a text number that you can text them if anything changes. So it's a bit, you can be as thorough or as vague as you want, but there's the 60 to 90 minute window each day that you've got to tell them, right, in that time I'm going to be this place. So it normally tends to be in the morning when they're waking up, and they'll tell them, right, in this 90-minute period, this is where I'm going to be. So when the testers come to test them, they'll go and they're in that place where they've give them in the 90-minute period. So I don't understand. She's give them that 90-minute period of where she's going to be, and then not being there. For me, if you're not going to be there, regardless of what day it is, because they can just turn up whenever they want, they don't tell you. well, I think they give you an hour. They text you an hour before they're going to come, and you've got to be there. So they've texted her an hour before, and she just hasn't been there. She hasn't updated on where she's going to be, so she has missed a drugs test. But okay, one I can understand. You've missed one drugs test. That's understandable. You can miss them. You just might have not been thinking that day, or it's just one of them things that happens. Miss two is a little bit suspect for me, because if you miss one, then you're going to be on point 100% and want to get it right. You're a professional athlete. You live the sport. You sleep the sport. You train the sport. You eat the sport. I always got told when I was running. So your whole life revolves around the sport, track and field athletics. You're going to have a coach, you're going to have a team around you. So everything, especially someone of her stature, the world champion and one of the best of all time, until proven that she might have taken drugs or not, she should be professional enough to get it right. So 2 drugs tests, for me, suspect. But 3 drugs tests missed. That is completely out of order. You 3 drugs tests means 3 missed drugs tests means 1 fail. So you fail the drugs test. So I don't understand how she was able to compete. In my opinion, you shouldn't be able to get to that stage. You should be banned automatically after missing 2 to 3, because it's just not right. She should be banned for 4 years, even without taking another test. Because you can't miss 3. You just can't miss 3 drugs tests. You can't. And if she wants to miss 3 drugs tests, obviously something dodgy must have been going on, because she doesn't want to have the drugs test. She obviously just doesn't want to have them. So something dodgy must have been going on leading up to the World Championships, not to have them. And not even now, missing a 4th one, it's just not on. It's not something that should happen at all. So let's just talk about her as an athlete. She won the World Championships in a time of, what was it, 48 seconds and 14, which is one of the fastest times in history. It's the 3rd fastest time in history, and it's so close to getting to that 40-second barrier. And if you have a look at the people who are above her on the all-time list, it's Maria Koch, who ran her time in 1985, and Jamila Kratochvalova, I think that's correct. And she ran 48.99, and Marita ran 47.60. And we're probably smart enough now to probably know that both of them were on drugs at the time. And if you saw the size of them, they were big, bulky women. So you probably knew they were probably on drugs or something back then. So running a time like 48.14, it's always going to make people suspicious about what's going on, because that is such a fast time and we don't see it often at all. So now for these drugs tests that have been missed, it goes on a bit further than that. And why can't we believe anybody in our sport? Because to me, I don't believe that she hasn't taken drugs, and it's why can't we believe anyone in our sport? Like I've just said, you go into a race, or you go into watch a race, and there's no one that you can actually trust anymore. There's so many people get caught that you think are clean, and you just can't trust anybody. But it can be done clean. I've heard people come up to me and people say to me, look, if they're all going to take drugs and they all keep getting caught, why not just let everybody take drugs? Let drugs be legal, and let's honestly just see who is the fastest athlete. That's not what I want. I love the clean sport. I want the sport to be clean. I want it to be done with integrity and professionalism. So I don't agree with that. I just want the other athletes to feel the same and do the same. I know there's a lot of athletes that feel the same. And your athletes like Usain Bolt, Peter Elliott, David Rudisha, the world record holder at 800 metres, to my knowledge, or they ran clean and ran some fast times. So why can't everybody else? It's taken away from other athletes that are doing it clean that might have got a medal. Like, I just think it's sad. And it's sad, sad, sad. You look at the Russian team a few years ago, they got fully banned. The Russian national team got banned from competing because they had such a big drug scandal in their country, which should happen on a wider scale. I really do. But yeah, that's what I think should happen. I think she should get banned. I think it's unfair. I think she should be stripped of her title, regardless of whether she's found to be clean, because you don't miss 4 drugs tests. There's no possible way. But yes, I'm gonna calm down because I got a little bit high rate then, a little bit angry, just talking about it. But all this is just my opinion. You all might think I'm silly. You might disagree with me. You might agree with me. And let me know your opinions down in the comments and let me know what you think. If there's any more information that I might have missed off, please comment it down below. But please like the video. Don't forget to comment, subscribe, and make sure you got the bell on because there's going to be plenty more videos coming soon. But yes, thank you, and I will see you next time.